I have a question for you gentlemen.
And I have an answer, though, as is usually the case, I suspect you're not going to like it.
Okay, what fuels your desire to pursue a woman?
Good question, and right now, for the answer for most men, at least with regard to women in relationships with them, is nothing. Abso-freaking-lutely nothing. Sorry, darlings, but in case you've missed it, and you wouldn't be asking this question if you did, men are done. They're walking away, and they aren't coming back anytime soon. The truth is, you've all become so toxic towards men that there is no desire for men to be with women anymore, because there's no benefit to being with you anymore. Like, not a single one. I mean, I know that's not what you want to hear, but it is the truth. Today's women offer nothing but toxicity and hate. And what human being in their right mind would want to be around someone who views them as lesser, as something that's inherently bad simply because of how they were born? Yet, that's exactly what women today do expect. They expect men to not only want to put up with their hatred and abuse, but to enjoy it. I mean, crazy doesn't even begin to cover it.
And what keeps you interested in wanting to continue to date her?
And again, the answer right now, as I just said, is nothing. But let me tell you how it used to be and what it could be if all y'all could set aside your narcissism, delusions, and absolutely ridiculous expectations for just a few moments. If you could all take some responsibility and accountability for how you've treated men for years now. Because you see, what men want from a woman, what they want from a relationship, more than anything else, is these things: acknowledgement, appreciation, loyalty, respect, and above all else, peace. All of which are in very, very short supply from today's women. In fact, they're pretty much non-existent. Which is exactly why men aren't looking to date you, to marry you, hell, even to talk to you at this point. So,
Also, too, like, what are your red flags? What makes you lose interest?
well, again, I just told you, the drama, delusions, and narcissism that defines all y'all women today. The nonstop, never-ending, ridiculous demands and expectations that you place on men. Expectations no human being can meet, yet ones you yourselves say you're not willing to compromise on. And of course, there's the fact that all y'all don't give men what they want at all, which are the things that I listed earlier. In fact, most of you think you don't need to give anything at all, and you actually get offended at any man who thinks you should. Y'all give no effort, no expense, no nothing. It's that whole I don't need to bring anything to the table because I am the table attitude that pretty much every single woman today has. And yet, here you are asking, what do men want? Really, darling? Really? The real question you should be asking is, why haven't we listened to men when they've told us what they want for years? Why have we ignored what men told us? Or worse, told men that that's not what they really want? Or that it's abusive, toxic, and misogynistic for wanting those things in the first place? I mean, come on, man.
I'm curious because I myself have I know what I feel and what I do for men. And, my girls similarly kind of feel the exact same way.
Translation: I'm the perfect wife or girlfriend, and thus I can't fathom why men don't want me. And as she said, all her girlfriends feel the exact same way. I mean, do we need any more evidence of how deeply the Borg-like hive mindset that women today have runs? Remember those delusions, drama, and that narcissism I mentioned earlier? She just showed it in spades, and I'm betting she doesn't even realize it. Here's a thought. Maybe, just maybe, ladies, y'all aren't as perfect as you think. Y'all aren't offering what you think you're offering. And while you do think you're doing all these great things, things that men want, in reality, you're probably doing things that you've decided that the men should want, not the things they actually want. Reality is, while you think you're doing all the right things, if you're alone and asking these questions, well, darling, you're probably not. No, what you're probably doing is nowhere near what men want. I mean, with all due respect to this young lady, and I do think she's being honest and genuine with her want to know with these questions. But this is a textbook case of how lost women are today and why men aren't and shouldn't be bothering with them anymore. Because nothing I've said should come as a surprise to any woman. In fact, they shouldn't even be asking these things at this point. They should just know them. Why? Because men have been telling them to women for years. Problem is, the women flat out refuse to listen.
But because men and women think differently, I would like to get your opinion. I would like to hear your point of view.
Well, you just did. The question is, are you actually going to hear what I said? Probably not. I mean, I'm more than willing to bet you're going to disregard it. You're going to label it as hate. You're going to claim I hate women. You're going to label it as misogynistic. You're going to deny it to be true because, well, you know how men and think feel better than actual men. And how do I know that? Because I share these things every day. And women just like you watching this hate me for it and say the very things that I just listed time and again, which is exactly what women have done to all men for decades now. Continue to do so even today. So caught up are women with their feelings and their belief that only their feelings matter that they cannot allow, not even for a second, men to have feelings of their own, especially when they contradict the women's feelings. Oh, sure, they'll say they want to learn. They'll pretend to care. But in reality, when men tell them what men want, tell them how men feel, they attack us. They disregard us, mock us, ridicule us, and flat out ignore us. That is until the next time they're sitting in their car bawling because they're alone. And then make yet another video asking, where did all the men go? And what fuels their desire? Well, ladies, I hate to break it to you, but that fuel tank is empty.